President Kennedy was assassinated 59 years ago. At the end of this, I'm going to link to my interview with comedian Mort Saul, who dedicated a good portion of his life, career, and reputation helping New Orleans District Attorney Jim Garrison try to prosecute those who killed Kennedy. So stay with me. The link should work at the very end of this. So what do I believe about the Kennedy assassination? I believe conspiracy theories mushroom in the dark. That's what I believe. Lee Harvey Oswald was never given a trial. He was shot to death mysteriously during that prison transfer. Now, I have my own theories on what happened in Dallas 59 years ago. I'm not quite sure what happened on November 22nd, 1963, but I know what happened after November 22nd. Everyone from the FBI to Bobby Kennedy, President Johnson, the CIA, and the Secret Service conspired to withhold information from the American people and each other. When the government conspires, not necessarily to kill a president, but to keep the events surrounding that killing secret, then Americans will do their own research and draw their own conclusions. Like I said, where there is darkness, conspiracy theories mushroom. Up until recently, conspiracy theories never rose to the level of deference they now have. These days, entire news organizations are built on conjecture instead of gathering facts. When Paul Pelosi was attacked, all you heard on Fox News was what might have happened. Conjecture, because the imagination is way more entertaining than the truth. A lover's spat between Paul Pelosi and his attacker is way more interesting than a crazed right-winger wandering in off the street. The current Republican Party is fueled by insane conspiracy theories rooted in nothing other than someone's fevered imagination. Transgender women are conspiring to convert your son to become a woman. Black Lives Matter is conspiring to turn our public schools into brainwashing camps where white people are programmed to hate who they are. George Soros is funding caravans of undocumented migrants from Central America to sneak into this country and vote for Democrats. Democrats are conspiring to steal elections in Arizona. Big Pharma and Dr. Fauci are conspiring with Bill Gates to place chips inside COVID vaccines so the government can keep tabs on you. The entire Democratic leadership is run by pedophiles who are grooming young boys and then delivering those young boys as sacrificial lambs before the world bankers for their ritual sacrifice. This is not a joke. I'm not making this up. When you poll Republicans, they believe one or more of what I just said. Now, I used to think Republicans pretended to believe these things, to own us, but they do believe those things. Why? Because newspapers are dying and Republicans lack critical thinking and internet literacy. They believe the first thing they're told, especially if they want to believe it. Republicans will say they prefer to do their own homework, but they don't know what homework means. What they're leaving out of the homework equation is that that includes schooling. There's school where you do your schoolwork and then you come home and do your homework. In other words, homework is checked by a teacher. Teacher has been taken out of the equation. Going on the internet to study the efficacy of ivermectin isn't homework. It's a suicide mission. You need someone to check your homework. I'm doing my own homework. Well, unless your homework is checked by a teacher, you're killing yourself and us. Now, by the time Kennedy was assassinated, we had the John Birch Society. There were the fringe elements of the Conservative Party who believed putting fluoride in the water was part of a government mind control experiment. They also believed communists were trying to take over America, corrupt our youth, and destroy our way of life. It was never elevated to the level it is now. Maybe the communist stuff was. I think both parties were consumed by that conspiracy theory that led to tens of millions dead in Indochina. But right now, we have a party, the Republican Party, that doesn't read, it doesn't think, and it believes what it's told to believe. Why? Well, I think it goes back to the Kennedy assassination. Some lessons might have been learned. Kennedy was shot in broad daylight, was all out in the open for everyone to see. It had the illusion of transparency. And then we saw Lee Harvey Oswald get shot. We saw the president get shot, and we saw Lee Harvey Oswald get shot. We read about all the witnesses dying mysteriously. It was all happening out in the open, just like the internet, just like the Trump administration. All the facts were there, but somehow we just couldn't put them together. There was no cohesion. I think the Kennedy assassination taught some of the people in charge, give the American people so much information they won't be able to decipher truth from fact. It works. Nobody can agree on how exactly Jack Kennedy died. All the evidence is there, too much evidence. Flood the end zone with evidence. Nobody knows where the ball is. And that's what's happening right now in America. Nobody can agree on anything anymore because there's so much evidence. How do you arrive at a truth? Ultimately, I believe good democratic government can arrive at a truth. Good government means courts, trials, congressional hearings, press conferences where both sides attempt to make their best case. And that's, I think, the only way we can ever get to a truth. The files on the Kennedy assassination have not all been released. We will all be dead when all the evidence is in on the Kennedy assassination. And by then, any attempt at a final judgment will be clouded by time. Before there is a truth, before you know what is right or wrong about something, you need to know right from wrong. And America, unfortunately, is moving further and further away from knowing right from wrong. Even Nixon knew right from wrong. He knew to resign, not Trump. Let's start with right and wrong. A 3-year-old knows right from wrong. And then they get to be adults here in America and they forget right from wrong. Forget what the truth is. Focus on right and wrong. You will get down to the truth eventually. Once you focus solely on right and wrong, morality, the truth will emerge. If you enjoyed today's show, please like it, subscribe to this channel, and share it with your friends via social media. If you stick around, I may be able to do this probably. There will be a link to my interview with the great Mort Saul discussing the Kennedy assassination that should be coming up next. If it doesn't come up in your feed, just search Mort Saul on the David Feldman Show website. I'm David Feldman. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you Friday. Remember to stay strong and protect the weak.